like he was caught.
He was nitegi jo. Faster during the day, at night he's like, give me your shit. I tried the easy way umekataa. Now,
I respect the grind. I respect the grind. Mchana nakuombea, usiku sasa
hakuna kuomba.
Hakuna kuomba. Usiku sasa wewe anakuomba sasa usiku.
So kabla tuanze hata nikuulize jo, ushaingia linebet.com. Linebet.com is the best betting company. Kwa nini? Your earnings zinakujaga zikiwa 100%. Na saa hizi ukijoin unaweza get 100% bonus ukitumia promo code ya IKONINI. So baki umeingia kwa linebet.com. Alafu ikam kwa stories za betting pia lazima nikukumbushe, stop when the fun stops. That means ukianza kulose unaanza kulose, una feel ni kama usitry kurecover, baki umestop. Kesho pia ni siku, lakini kama uko na winning streak, the best betting company yako of course ni LineBet, because LineBet inakupatia earnings zako bila kukata ushuru. So linebet.com, baki umejoin, alafu make sure umetumia promo code IKONINI. IKONINI. Episode 296. Tukisema like, subscribe, hit the notification button, tell a friend to tell a friend.
Yeah.
Hello, tuko na msee, I need any introduction, but kama haumjui jo, wacha nitoe zile zake. Inakuanga ni the amazing guy, the mastermind, the Lord.
Yes,
Niaje Buddha?
The Lord is in the building finally.
Yeah.
Ikonini, I've always wanted to do your intro. You know me, I have a thing for intros. I love doing intros.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So because that's the funny thing, like the human brain is so interesting that you end up doing stuff. Like sometimes when I try to write intro yetu down, you like, subscribe, I end up finding like, what the fuck do I normally say? But if I start saying it, it just happens.
Comes naturally.
Inakuja. So Buddha, umekuaje?
Bro, me have been amazing.
Yeah.
Doing what I need to do. Kusukuma hiki tunaitwa gurudumu ya maisha.
Yeah.
Winging it. Sometimes being sure about stuff.
Yeah.
But most essentially taking it one day at a time. Pole tu.
Okay. Alafu of course vile nani CHAXY amefika hivi ni kwa try kumchanua na try kumwambia like he's one of those people that have that face ama that look that has a few other people that I know. So niko nakwambia kuna rapper anaitwa Mr. Leaf.
Yeah.
Yes, LIF. Which other rapper? Okay, Maz come to dreadlocks because Maz looks more like Jesus than you. But now
more than me. When I look like Jesus somehow.
Zizi.
Oh.
Yeah, Maz ndio samana. Kuna nini? You know the group Still Pulse?
What?
Still Pulse, a reggae group.
No.
Yani na hizi dread zote joji Still Pulse.
Yes, bro. Maybe najua mangoma zao.
Yeah.
Because I'm like so the reggae that I consume is talk about Akina Protege, Akina Chronics, of course Bob Marley, the usual suspects, but Seti niko na a huge catalog reggae. Wewe unajua ulikuwa Ghetto Radio, so unajua reggae zote.
Funny enough, see for Nigeria, the neighborhood I grew up in, unajua. So ku grow up East Lando, of course reggae was like one of those. Like we loved reggae first.
It still is,
before we loved hip hop, unajua. Like back in the days mimi nikiwa mtoi hip hop ilikuwa ya mababi, so ilikuwa inaitwa mayoyo. So ilikuwa hata ukianza hiyo shit msema anza hizo jinga za mayoyo.
So mayoyo ni the west side of Nairobi, the west side.
No, mapunk.
But mayoyo was more about rap music, because rap music inaanza na yo. You know that shit?
Okay.
So mayoyo. So ilikuwa gani I always joke that listening to hip hop in the 90s was like coming out of the closet, unajua.
Really?
Because that's how much reggae was loved, and that generation was very one genre. So ilikuwa like ufala na dunini hapa tunasikizaji hizi vitu za ujinga hapa. So nacheki, so si tulikuwa watu wa Still Pulse, Luciano, that was
Luciano namjua at least.
Adole ikakuja, after Adole kukuja of course tukasema IKONINI. Alafu ikabidi sasa kusikiza Lil Kim. So Lil Kim was there, sijui I grabbed his watch, niko like just grab mine.
Deep throat.
That's even ndo nilijipataga hip hop. So lakini kabla tuanze show umetupatia story fulani mpaka nikaanza kufikiria jo yenyewe Mr. The Lord hapa jo anakuaga ulipoteza phone jana na uko tu leo na smile tu. Mimi ningekuwa na depression saa hizi.
Unajua hiyo ndo kitu nakumbuka hata even Jana when the incident happened, and then me I'm just calm because this Ash is super stressed about it. Everyone is concerned around, everyone's trying to call, move around, check what's going on. Me look on my chill too. Like this is just me, bro.
Like it's very hard. Chanua say nini
yeah,
happened?
so we were at Blankets last night. Blankets is, I think, the gig in Sea Waters mic check normally we attend. So the three of us, even the crew comes. And shout out to Mudena and the team. They always send us tickets ever since she came to the pod. So Blankets is coming up, mic check, so the whole crew pulls up. But Sasa, I don't move around the event space a lot. Normally I find one spot and I chill there. And most of the time tuko hapo. So of course guys can move in the base. Do whatever you wanna go get a drink, say hi to guys. Then tuko na tu base yenye ukitaka CHAXY ukimongoja huko unajua atakuja any minute. Yeah, so we are dancing. Blinky gets on, then starts raining. So when it starts raining, everyone pushes into the tent. But my friend has an umbrella. So nimechill na yeye. So sisi tuko kwa mvua, tuko na umbrella, everyone else has pushed into the FM tent because inanyesha. So we're dancing and then Mariah comes running back. She's like, oh shit, someone has stolen a phone because she had a sling bag. Simu ilikuwa kwa sling bag. Mimi I didn't have deep pocket, so I didn't have the phone on me. Nilikuwa nachukua tu simu and I need to get a drink or call somebody, then namrudishia. So niko like, oh shit, first instinct of course call. So we call the phone, ikomteja. I was like, you meenda. So it's cool. I call like, no, call, do this. I'm like, it's not my first rodeo. Simi kiende meenda. And you know those guys, they work in groups and they're very swift. Anashika na pasia mwingine nini. Like it's very hard to find your phone. Hata ukiona msa kichukua, ukimsearch manzisha enda. Because ninakwanga hivi pass. They have an entire operation. So that happened. Then I had a very early morning, so I went home, slept, kamuka phoneless. But I had a meeting that I completely couldn't push in the morning. So I had to go to that meeting in Malize, then now go find a phone, get a SIM card. Actually, when I called, because I didn't have numbers, because my phone wasn't set up. So I get a phone, and then nikiwasha, inaniambia, I need to authenticate using my other Apple device. Because when you have multiple Apple devices, for security, you need to access another one to set up yako. So I had to go home, ni set up simu, and then sasa nikuje. So I have contacts, but I don't have any apps or anything. Hata sijui nini naendelea online since jana. But that's the story, man.
Okay.
So kesho nitaenda kutafutana na makarao and then we see. I don't know, it's just that it normally just feels like a waste of time because I've lost phones before and reported. Unafuatilia, sometimes they make you go there a couple of times or be the whole thing and then you just never find it. Although kila siku unapata notifications, hey, your phone is at 2 Rivers. Hey, your phone is in CBD. Oh, your phone is, and that happens kidogo, then inapotea. Sasa you never see notifications anymore.
Okay. Cause nini, inaitwa nini? Of course, kitu interesting ni vile what ilikuwa ni jazz ni vile tu umeenda ukachukua tu iPhone ukakuja tu hapo umetulia tu. Cause mimi saizi ningekuwa na go through yo like denial, then depression, then baadaye nita move on. Alafu what I'd say is I don't think kureport ni like it's futile. I just think that if the case gets to DCI, guaranteed you're getting back your phone.
Got you.
That's guaranteed. And kama yeye ndio falaliba hiyo kitu jo utashikwa. Usikue mjinga.
I'll make some calls. Unajua watu in Nairobi, bro.
Like wiba simu in 2024.
Another best thing, kuna one guy hapo tu tukiwa hapo still a blanket. There's one guy who was msali mshika kama mkono kwa mfuko yake. But already alikuwa shapatiana simu. But that guy just held to this guy kabisa. Akamwambia anataka simu. So there was a bit of confrontation. Then sasa this other gang, the other guys, yuko peke yake wakakuja wakaanza kupiga mse, but security came wakawashika. Actually the police were in just normal clothing. Wakawapiga mapingu nini wakaenda na yeye. So before we left the venue, I went to report kuangalia kama is there anything, but our police I think walikuwa tu na mambo zao. So that's why I didn't report, because I wanted to report jana, because there's a station literally inside the stadium. But they were walikuwa too hostile, so I was like, you know what, this is enough for the night, let me go rest. Then I'll figure this out.
Because I always feel like, even that's one of the things I remember like telling my nephews, because I have one nephew who's like 26 turning 27, alafu niko na mwingine 21 turning 22, and I just kept telling them, never buy a second hand phone, never fucking buy a second hand phone. This shit can put you in so much trouble that every time I see someone stealing a phone, I'm like, unatry kudu, because it only takes one person who's really interested in following up and your life is fucked.
No, for real. It's happened. I was in there's a time was okay, nilikuanga KU for a bit of time. Kuna siku, what are these things called? I forgot what they're called, but nika cafeterias, and then they have a bit of sitting, so breaks nini, you can go grab a quick bite. See mess ilikuwa kula food. Hizi zilikuwa tu na quick bites. But then because KU is huge as hell, so there's a bunch of them spread across the school. Ni cafeteria tu quick bite nini. Yeah, and one of my friends alikujia kwa hiyo meza tulikuwa tumekaa tu straight where alikuwa because ya mambo ya second and phone. Wale mtaka mpaka to the exact place where we was at. Na ukaenda na yeye. So it works. You just need
ikachukua how long your case ama bado?
No, ilisha. I think he was able to prove, luckily for him alibuy from a physical store in Tao. So it was easy to prove. Lakini ingekuwa ni lumozi wanamse mwenye maybe you'll never get access to, ingekuwa story nyingine. So even aliprove penye alinunua na alikuwa na receipt, aliprove. So ngori kamondokea. So hawa wengine wenye sasa walishikwa na wenye walimuzia, I don't know what happened. I didn't follow.
But
kuna boys alipatwa base za kichana.
Same simu tu.
Aliambia jaiona nini? Aliona tu vumbi. Ilikuwa ni convoy ya makarao yuga. Alishtukia tu dust. Boys akaenda missing na hajaimuona tena. Kwa sasa alikuwa accompanied na mwenye. Apparently that guy alikuwa amehijackiwa ndai inaenda ikakuwa chopped off parts. So aliambiwa ile time hiyo gari itatokea ndio atakuwa released. So I don't know kama bado kwa prison.
So hiyo ni noma ingine. Alafu pia imenikumbusha kuna hii video kwenda go around this weekend. Sijui kwa ulicheck ile X5 naenda kuingia kwa gate and then wase wanakuja ni hapa Nairobi. You saw it?
I've not seen it.
And then that guy like wase wamewekea gun. I know that you freeze. So they're trying to hit his window. Then he decides to run away. He reverses. Hii pikipiki yani nini iko mbele yake. Instead of going through it, he still... I was like...
Pikipiki sasa inafaa kwa ni kama they chase away sasa.
Yes, au manini. Have you watched watch South American videos? You seen what they do to thugs?
I've seen some videos.
That's the shit you do. Like I'm driving away, but makarona kupata hapo. That's guaranteed.
I don't have a lot of remorse for thugs, bro. I've had too many incidences. Like when I see such things happen, like she feels, I don't know, like I don't have too much, I don't have a lot of remorse for guys. I don't know, kitu wase waelewi ni kitu moja. It's like now you guys have built such a big platform. I can only imagine what happens behind the scenes to get where you are. And then siku moja msetu kama ichukue tu. Achukue and change jina aeke kwa nini yake. So unaona if you get people never understand that, you know, someone you never know what someone has to do to get whatever they have. So for you to just come and take it and then claim it to be yours, ama benefit from it, sell it, ama do whatever. I don't have a lot of remorse for such people.
Because also ajui maybe we met P Diddy na tuko hapa na ujui.
So I mean ningeenda party ya Diddy, bro. Ningeenda ningeitwa ningeenda. So party zilikuwa lit. But now knowing what I know, of course says and but ningenipata last year but one event niko mahali late bro. Full up.
Because nini so in such a situation one unaweza do nini where someone is trying to hit your nini and try kuchapa na gun alafu you have an opportunity to hit them, would you just drive away ama would you?
Nah, I'm definitely hitting you, bro. You know, I've been carjacked before, but sasa this is Julian. Hold on. But this is, when is this? I think this is literally like my first car. I think 2017, around May 4th, 2017.
Yeah.
So at the time I used to leave the house early, 5 in the morning every day. I'd leave 5 in the morning, I'd go record the podcast because Eros used to work at a studio.
Yeah.
In it was ADA that used to be at the Alchemist. So we could use the studio when Itumiki. So either late evening, but some late evening you never know. Wasanini wase usiku. So our best shot was in the morning before the studio opened. So I had a regular schedule. I'd always leave at 5 in the morning. And then now do record, then continue with my day. So this day, as I'm leaving from the crib, kuna hako kanjia now before you get to the main road. Nikifika kwa main road, there's a car in a reverse. So of course, pump the brakes, unangoja tu gari reverse, ni normal. And then mi niendelee. Then the car suddenly stops. 4 guys leave with guns. First instinct, so normally I lock my car. Nikiingia kwa gari, I lock the car. First instinct, ni reverse nyuma nirudi kwa nyumba. Rear mirror, there's a car behind me as well. And this is maybe 50 meters from the house. So niko hapo in between.
Which neighborhood?
Hii nilikuwa naishi unajua place inaitwa Kihunguro? Kihunguro is hapo kwa iko katikati ya Eastern Bypass na Thika Road.
Okay.
Because I used to be sinilikuwa KU, so I used to live up because that was close to school.
Okay.
Kigoro na Kisapere ni chuom.
Ni chuom. Really? Your place ilikuwa chuom. Because unajua in KU, a lot of students used to live in Kahawa. So Kahawa was crowded. Me, I've just never liked crowded places. So Keunguro was the closest to school that was Imenyamaza, was very not too developed. So now that means we're talking about dark roads. Anyway, so around 50 meters from the house, so there's a guy with a gun on the windscreen. There's a guy hitting the side of my door because they're trying to open, but the guy is locked. But the guy is locked. So anahit sana bado sijafungua bado no sija freeze because now unajua that's the expectation ni uta freeze, but I think that as soon as I knew what was going on, adrenaline kicks in. That's why I nilificha simu hapa. I'm thinking of options, then I realized I don't have options. So I opened the car. So when I opened the car, this guy opened the door, grabbed me, kwanza alianza kuongea Kisapere, then mi sikuwa na get, so I don't understand Kikuyu. Then sikuwa najua Kikuyu. So me instinct yangu ya kwanza ilikuwa they were not even masked. So I was like, shit, they're not even masked. This could go really bad. Anyway, so the other door opened, so two guys get in the car. So that guy grabs me, akanieka kwa back seat huku penye waseweka miguu, that ka space. So when alinisukuma huko nyuma, I grabbed my backpack which had my computer and iPad and whatnot, nikailalia tu. Hizi vitu zote set I'm thinking about it. Everything is happening very quickly. Then the previous day nilikuwa withdraw some money like 13k or something. I needed to buy stuff and then nikaenda sherehe so I didn't buy stuff. So ilikuwa tu hapo kwa glove box. So this guy is come in, anaanza kuniambia, ulikuwa unajaribu kuhapa nini blah blah blah, a lot of stuff. Opens the glove box, no checks, kwanza ukanicheck mfuko. I didn't have anything. Luckily I was wearing sweatpants nini. Akafungua glove box. No, before that akanitisha simu, nikamwambia nilikuwa naenda tu hapa shule. That's why I was actually in sandals and pants nini. So I left my phone charging in the house because I couldn't charge. Akasema tutafutie gari tupata nyumba, I'll shoot you. Do tupatie gari, I'll shoot you. I'm like whatever man. Each time I think tu ni sijali like sijui nini na. So as this is happening, the car drives off. And then it's such a bumpy drive. Wanaongea such as the glove box. I think when he found a bit of a stack of money, ikatulia kidogo, wakaacha kuniuliza maswali mengi. Then wakapata my ATM. Akaniambia nimpatie pin, nikampatia the wrong pin. Akaniambia hii pin tukienda tupate ni wrong pin na kupiga risasi. Nikasema fuck, anyway that is correct. Nikasema ikifika hiyo point na ni wrong nitawaambia tu the correct one. Anyway, so drives such a bumpy drive and then the car suddenly stops. So when the car stops, I'm still lying down huko nyuma. There's so much commotion. I'm wondering what the fuck is going on. Ni commotion mob. And then there's this guy who constantly comes to check in, then anapotea. Because kumbuka there was 4 guys, but now in my car there's only 2 guys. So umse alikuwa anakam tu kuangalia nimelala, anapotea. Commotion continues, then it went silent for a bit of time. So went silent. And then, because nimelala hivi chini, from hapa mlango, I could see a bit of light. Then had gone silent for a while, then nikaanza kulift kichwa, then I realized kulikuwa kumetulia. Walihepa. So nililift hivi kichwa, bra. Hiyo gari ilikuwa tu na body. Like they'd taken out everything. Ignition, switches, radio, everything. But it was so neatly done. Nakumbuka nilitoka hivi kwa gari niko like shit. It was so neatly done. Hakuna kitu imevunjika, all the wires hazijakatwa. Unajua wires za gari ziko na switches, unaweza toa nini. Plucked very smoothly. Then nikiangalia nyuma, remember there was a car behind me at home. Kumbe ni jirani yangu pia gari yake imefanya the same thing. So the other 2 guys kumbe walikaja kumsa walikuwa nyuma yangu. So this is now in the morning. In literally a few minutes, I'll say I've vandalized gari mbili, 2 on each car, and they've done such a smooth, nice job. Yani ni mse anajua gari in and out. Au no wangekuwa na 30 more minutes, maybe engine ingeenda, miguu, everything. So then sasa of course sijui niko happy. Then we're in the middle of a tea plantation. Then we find out we're in Juja. Luckily I had my phone. So first people I called is the bank. I was like, well, I've been carjacked, kindly block my card. And also, if anyone tries to use it, kindly give me a call. And then now we call some of my friends. Anyway, we end up going to the police station. Bank calls me like at 11. Wakasema, someone tried to use your ATM card. but we need like the police to request for the information. Like we can't give it to you.
Yeah.
Because sasa ATM of course kuna cameras and whatnot. So this was a Family Bank ATM in Thika. And I mean kuna bank na NCBA, but sasa it's a Visa, a MasterCard you can transact.
Yeah.
So I was like, shit, this could be a good lead. Of course, I was still at the station. So told the guy who was investigating, nini. I'm like, sawa, so I'm hoping there was gonna be a good lead. Nothing ever happened up to date.
Mpaka leo jeshiko?
This was a police station Ruiru, they never.
Hata ilikuwa?
Nilifuatiliani, mpaka nikasema, fuck it.
Maybe waliona, kumbe ni nani?
Maybe they were involved. I mean, cops are also involved. Because also wanatuanga hizi guns.
Yeah, cops wanaweza kuwa involved kwa history.
So manze, nimekapitia.
Damn.
So hizi simu nini hazinishtui sana.
Mwafu jai kuwa robbed.
Yeah, that's the funny thing. Like a carjacked, no? But zile like someone tries pale katikati tao. Sikuwa natembea hivi jo nikachiki jo dudes zimenikujia ufiti. I don't know how I was able to kuhepa. Hapo tu koza nini ambassador. Natembea tu hivi niko na shit zangu concentrate.
Unashangaa.
Nika nini but take at your level ya like gun. Like I'm always but I'm a domestic animal. Najua. So I'm rarely out there.
Got you.
At night. Like cause alafu after get married now I'm like kunipata nje ni hard hiyo time like usiku sijui saa ngapi hivyo because of course when I was single pussy hunting hiyo like
ulikuwa dena Nairobi
nilikuwa najipata neighborhood ingine like I have no business being here. It's just my deki ndio imenipeleka hapo but after hiyo I think hopefully I hope cause hizi vitu mtu ajuage hiyo ingine X5 ilinishtua cause I always assume Toyota za unajua carjacked because of spare parts and what like X5 kushtukia wase alafu history wamekuja kwa gate yako so that was some
scary man. Kwanza when there's guns involved gun on your head I mean like for a moment I was like oh shit
me twice
ushatuambia ile ya nini
moja nikitembea home alikuwa makarao tulisema kama uko na mbio kuliko risasi on your max
for real so ungeambia nipatie head start kwanza
but that was the second time. The first time ilikuwa ni nini nilikuwa natoka studio just straight after high school na come to na hang out hapo so mimi nimeenda na mati ya mwisho it was around 10 kufika hizo sides za home because it's like an hour drive nilikuwa nisha blackout nimelala I think I was tired so mimi nashtukia kwa nini naitishwa kwa nini huyu conductor amechizi nini kwa nini anaitishia do kwa dirisha kumbe watu washaambia tu watoke mimi nimelala nimebaki solo so this guy kwa dirisha ni mwizi sasa ananimulika na torch Sako like kumse analala in the middle of CHAXY. Are you crazy? Kijana toka. So kuangalia mbele juu wako amezima headlights. Kacheki majama amesimama na ma-AK. Go like
ndio kajua nini endelea.
Jo.
That shit is very scary man.
Mimi basi nimekuwa lucky. Alafu nini? Sasa lazima nikuulize juu. Sikia story ya Akitui pastor alikuwa killed. He was involved in a robbery incident. This happened like on Sunday.
Involved like you mean no miss nilikwambia kwanza jana this happened jana mtani update wait involved like he was caught
he was nitegijo faster during the day at night he's like give me your shit mina I tried the easy way umekataa now
mina na respect the grind na respect the grind mchana nakuombea usiku sasa
hakuna kuomba
hakuna kuomba usiku sasa wewe anakuomba sasa usiku
so alidedishwa but now the like accomplice ile wana assume ni one of the congregants alibaki amehepa but with gunshot wounds so najua mii juagana niko na zaovi nafikiria maybe that's Jesus najua
so ili happen like he was caught in the act was he like robbing people cars
wacha ni cheki story ilikuwa police have gunned down a pastor in a robbery with violence incident at Kavisuni in Kisasi district so they tried to rob a wholesale shop belonging to Muli Munyoki last week and robbed him at gunpoint. So baadaye, the pastor identified as Ezekiel Muinde Mwangangi was a preacher at the Heaven City Chapel based at Soweto area. while still overseeing a new branch at Kauma, some 5 kilometers away. So I think he just used to use that as the nini, and he just robbed 5,000 cash. Hii ni pesa hata uwezi peleka kwa chache ya pasta nganga.
Ukipeleka kwa nganga hata kuombea anaweza chukua badala kuombea. But no, it just tells you that everything nowadays is a business, including churches, you know. So you not everyone are in whatever they're doing for the right intentions. So maybe huyu sasa ni kama drug dealer, church in the front, lakini the actual business ni mwizi tu. And sasa it makes perfect sense because sasa huo ni msemenye one. I think a lot of people use religion to take advantage of you know people who are desperate or people who need hope. I think hope is the main driver. You know, give guys a bit of hope and they keep coming. But I'm not surprised, bro. So makanisa siku hizi ziko hivyo. You have people who use the name of God to run their own agenda.
Wanakwaga religious?
No, I'm not religious.
Spiritual?
It depends on what your definition of spiritual is.
I hear people say, I'm not religious, but I'm spiritual. Well, for me, the back of my mind, bullshit. Because I take the two as the same thing. I don't know you. Like, do you look up in the sky and you're like, there has to be someone up there controlling everything?
Of course not. So I don't think there's spirituality without religion to begin with, because one depends on the other. So you could define, we know what religion is, you know, it's just the organized it's not belief, because people could people in different religions believe different almost things. Sometimes in
the same
things,
but very differently.
Very differently. But most of them say the overarching belief ndio the same. So I don't think it's possible to say you're spiritual without religion in it. But I'm not spiritual. No, I'm not religious. But I was born in a religious family. So born in a largely Catholic family. But then a lot of my other extended family walikuwa Pentecostals. But yeah, me I just I believe in the powers of the universe. I believe in the mysteries of the world that we will never be able to figure out. If we haven't figured out now, I don't know when we will figure that out. So things that are beyond me, I let them be. And I just believe in being a nice person and doing what needs to be done.
Fun enough, I think we might figure out a lot. I always look at it from the science perspective. Like, humans have been actively studying science for 400 years. And in 400 years, we've been able to...
Or even more.
To do, like, actively, baka writing down, inachukuliwaga as 400 years. So there's... Zile zingine zili happen fast. Like, the first guy to bring up evolution, apparently, was a Muslim scholar. Like, a black Muslim scholar, like in the 12th or 13th century, yes? So kumekuwa nao, lakini now actively, especially physics, the universe, what like ile documenting imekuwa around 400 years. And with that time, we've been able to come up with the internet, whatever. So you can try and imagine another 400 years, what's going to be happening, another 1,000 years. Like, science is going to have done some crazy stuff. And I think the more tuna discover more things, the more people will be less religious, and the more also like things like poverty end, because I feel like at some point science will have figured out so much that poverty as we know it won't be there. And like base vitu kama food hazitakuwa shida, nini hazitakuwa shida, and then that time it becomes really hard to convince wase like ati ngoja tu kufe. Ukishakufa utaishi vizuri, lakini saizi hata mimi niishi vizuri, ukikufa
your reward is in heaven.
Your reward is in heaven.
A lot of people have been talking to wanaenda wakidismiss hizi narratives of Bible. I think wanaona how these things are going nini. Hii place watu wena na jairudi. And then you're living so righteous for what?
So that when you die you can,
I think it's just in those fundamentals. So for me it would be essentially, because to be very honest, there's no one who has an answer to what happens when people die. There's speculations, there's theories, that's why they call theories, there's belief systems, all those things, and all of them are different for different reasons, and I respect what everyone believes in, because essentially we are a product of what we believe in. That's why we do things. That's why we could do the same things very differently, because we are a product of all these other things. So I have respect for what guys believe in, but for me is I'm more of a person that likes or prefers logic. So if the fundamentals are very questionable, and there's no answers for it, then I don't know. It's not something that I hold very dear to myself. But sasa, if also, you know, if you talk about creation, if you talk about how everything came into existence, if you talk about the afterlife, you talk about the entire universe, not just the wild and all the other universes that exist, and all talk about the galaxy. A lot of these things science has figured out, but there's so much that science hasn't figured out. There's so much that science may never even figure out. So those, what I call the mysteries of the wild, I just prefer to respect them and let them be. The world corrects itself at some point.
But it's interesting, like, Oli, when did you lose your religion?
I'd say properly in high school. Properly in high school. So maybe just a bit of context. So born in a predominantly Catholic family, but then my parents, church was not a big deal. I don't remember seeing my parents go to church, but when my grandma was around, we used to go to church. So even Mimi, I was baptized in a Catholic church, because when my grandma is around, Sundays we go to church. So Mimi setup yangu tulikuwa tumezoea Sunday, when grandma is around we go to church, then tukitoka church we enda home, mama naenda kucheza, but sasa yeye wenda tu kulewa. Then tutajua grandma narudi, ukianza kusikia kelele from
grandma alikuwa analewa
kilometers away. Grandma yangu alikuwa nakata mara. Even some of, like, Juzi, she passed on 2 years ago. As well, rest in peace. Nilikuwa, like, even I was fortunate enough to build a relationship with her late in life before she passed. Na nilikuwa naenda mchukua tu, tunaenda tunakunywa. Kienda kumwona nilikuwa nambebea tu mataska zake. Alikuwa vibes. Then tunakaa tu chini tunaongea, ananiambia anachapia stories on how we met my granddad, about hiyo time ya wazungu tukifight for colonization, how things were. So she was cool like that. So that hiyo ndio ilikuwa setup. And then I lived with my uncles at some point, and then sasa wao they were born again. Ile born again ya pray every night, tunaimba praise and worship, then tunaomba, then tunaenda kulala. Then in a month kuna days za kufast, so we are paired. So nyinyi kama mimi sasa na my cousin wenye tulikuwa almost age mates, tunakuwa paired, tuko na siku yetu ya kufast. Hiyo siku ya kufast mna fast the whole day, mko kwa room mnaomba such things. So I was exposed to those things, za kwenda kesha, za kwenda youth seminars during holidays. And sasa hapo, that's when I really started poking a lot of holes, because now my parents didn't take me to church hivyo. Me church nakumbuka ni very loose, Katho tu unaenda Katho, unajua mambo yao. So then sasa to a complete shift to these other guys when wako born again. And then sasa hapo sasa when I went to high school is when sasa I really started questioning a lot of things. And then I just came to the conclusion that me, I'll just believe what I believe in. And then I'll let you believe what you believe in. We're gonna respect you. That's all that matters. So high school is really where things turned around for me.
And how do you answer when someone asks you, how can you believe that this came from nothing? Who answered you swali? Because I always have those people who come to me that bullshit, like everything is so perfect, how can you believe that this
came from nothing?
Sayo naangalia kina what is it called, like Japan, earthquakes just killing people. Like nature will kill you so easily that for people to feel like it's perfect, but when you're trying to convince someone that nature is not perfect, is really hard. Because me, I always try to approach it from the scientific view. Ile naambia say saizi by accident ukienda ujipate kwa a river that has crocodiles, they won't care if you're holding a religious book. They're going to eat you. They won't care that, hey, kesho kuna deal uko nafaa kusainia $1 billion shillings. $1 billion hiki tuita kudishi tu vizuri kabisa. So all legend was kama huko, so I always have that argument na people like everything is perfect. I'm like, nah, nature is not as perfect as we think.
So my answer to them is mostly is very simple. I don't think this came from nothing. But also I don't know where it came from. And you cannot convince me you know where it came from. That's why there's different beliefs, different literature about how everything came into existence, and all of them have backings, but peers gonna faults. So we can look at where each theory fundamentally where it's based on, and also we can look at the faults, the cracks in that story. Naziko mingi. So my answer is always simple. I genuinely don't know. And I know that I don't know. My only issue is you can't convince me that your way is the correct way, because also I'd look on the left and look at someone else who could also completely convinced me that the way is the correct way. So mimi, I'm okay with not knowing everything. But I have such an open mind. I'm always willing to read new stuff. And whatever makes sense to me makes sense to me. Whatever doesn't, it doesn't. So my answer nakwanga tu hivyo, that I don't know.
And it's okay not to know.
And it's okay not to know. Because I don't think eti mimi ndo nitakuwa the first person kujua kama hizi miaka zote, all the people that have lived with all the technology. You know, you can go back, even talk about pyramids and how we've never figured out how those pyramids were built. And then in the back of our mind, we think we are the most advanced society. We may not be the most advanced society. We still can't explain that, you know. Probably a society existed that was more advanced. Now where that society went to, I have no idea. Unaona, ni venye tu kuna vitu zingine ziko na good PR na zingine ziko na bad PR. Kama sasa niko nasema kama bangi iko na bad PR, so inaendelea kuteseka tu. Unaona, na pombe iko na such good PR that regardless of how much wreckage pombe causes in the whole world, iko na such good PR, it, you know, it lives. And that's the world we live in. It's just based on perception.
Because I feel like that's like one of the best things in life. You're like being okay with not knowing.
It's so peaceful, like, man.
Because sometimes I just look at life and I'm like, what the fuck did all this start? Because I know, and then hizo of it, like right now the way science is saying, like we live in a universe, but ile evidence iko saizi ina suggest there's a multiverse. So this means that all these vitu tunaona, it's just a very tiny part of it.
It is.
That kuna maybe more. And hiyo time yote unafikiria kuna mseyuko uko juu anawori place umeka deki yako, like are you serious? Like I understand why our great ancestors believed that, because you know it was such a small world. You look at the sun, you think it's small, and then you feel like it's lighting earth. Then sisi after hizi advancement zote unawori ati kuna mseyuko juu anawori vile unadinyana. Na sasa hiyo kuna black holes, kuna white holes. Saizi kuna white holes. Like black holes.
Okay, black
light
holes
can't escape. So your gravity is so high, light can't escape. White holes, they deflect. Like nothing can go through a white hole. Acheki. So hii time yote sisi tunajua tu black holes ni vagina, white holes. So kuna hiyo but wacha tutoke kwa story ya universe kabla tuluzwa wase na religion, because wase wasona kwa sensitive na religion.
Mimi hata mpaka at some point squeezy I just not talk about. I don't talk much about it on the pod. I mean, it's I can talk about whatever I want, but I just try to avoid it because I also just understand how sensitive it is. And we've had even guys who stopped listening to the show and came back later because I'm like, hey, you know, you're back, but me stop listening because I can't stand when you guys talk about religion and stuff, and I get it.
Shit. Now, I mean, I think to me and Nini, like use some soft gloves because me, damn, me no get the Marvin yani mpaka
ile siku tutamake it kwa hii podcasting space nitakubaya ile kitu ya effects nikuweka hizo effect kama whip nini yani wewe zile za kwenda huko.
Kuna time wasio ninigi hiyo sana kama hivi because mwambia gamsage then si prayer works, just go pray for me. If tomorrow I've not changed, then the Lord is testing you because like
and if you wake up tomorrow and you're fully convinced in your path, exploit. Ndo life ni just exploit. Ikikata tano unarudi tu.
Because it's and it's nini, it's fun. But kile mushindwa ni watu walitupitisha through slavery, through what they also still wanted to save us. Like when you ask people that, they're like and then you look at even how Africans are treated in the Arab world. Like it does not even matter your faith. If you're in the Arab world and you're black, you're going to be treated like shit. So but hiyo ni story refu. So wacha kuje kabla tubongejua the podcasting because nataka kwenda kwa mind yako nijue how you sat somewhere and decided, you know what, I need to start a podcast. But before that nataka kuuliza a few things that have happened. So on the day tuna shoot podcast, ni the day that Joe Mfalme amekuwa released unconditionally. But now the story is he's been released because he's supposed to turn state witness. So ye na wale makara watatu plus 3 of his team, they are turning state witness against one guy. That's the same guy ulinani alitaja akiwa hapa Mama Raya alitaja akiwa hapa akisema anamjua Balo. Do you know Balo?
I know Balo.
Yeah. So umesikia wana turn against ye?
I didn't know that. Unajua sasa mimi sinakwambia
Yes,
kwanzia nafu unajua sasa nilifika blankets kitu 6 hivi. so say from the last time I was online to check anything, ilikuwa kama jana 4 p.m.
Yeah.
So since 4 p.m. I don't know. I know Balo, I know Joe Mfalme as well. I've worked with Joe for many years. Balo, I know him from the social space. Nimse si wongea.
Yeah.
He invites me to play football with them at sometimes I play football. So nimse najua from the scene.
Yeah.
With Joe, I don't know. I still don't know what really happened. I think what we all the information we know is what is available online.
Yes.
All we know is somebody was beaten and murdered, who happens to be a DCI officer.
Yeah.
Regardless of who the person is, someone was murdered in an altercation. Now, my own experience working with Joe for many years, sitting once, some twice. I booked Joe for many gigs. Joe is a friend. Like sitting. I wouldn't say Joe is a close friend. We talk all the time. We could go for years even without talking. But I can pick up my phone and call. I can text. I think the last I spoke to Joe was a few months ago because I wanted to know whether he still teaches DJing because it's something I have interest in. And I can be no, actually he never does it. But there's people he works with who teach it. I can refer. That's the last conversation I had with Joe. But from my own experience with Joe is, I just know Joe is professional, keeps time. Joe, I've never had to argue with Joe about anything. Does what Joe needs to do. Nimsame nyamaza. Joe nimpige mastori uende utanidu kuongea sana. It's just a chill dude. So when I saw this, I was a bit shocked kidogo. But things happen. You can't teach a human being how to react. Like if whatever happened, and for instance if I slapped you now, I can't teach you how to react to a slap. So I really don't know what happened. I hope maybe the only thing nazasema tu ni I hope when this is in court now, we're able to know exactly what's in the court. That we know, away from what has been reported. I hope the court can make it public. Ama sijui kama Kenya unaweza ingia kwa portal ya judiciary upate hizi makesi. I don't know.
Hiyo ndio kitu moja sijuagi. I actually don't know.
Maybe zingine high profile ones. But also hii ndio part yenye sasa journalists wanafaa kutusaidia kidogo. And that's why I love the space yenye tuko. My hope is nilikuwa na hope maybe akina Kido, akina Kenya Online Media, maybe wako court leo something. Because if you're media and you're in court, you can, I think you get copies or you can get access to the judgments and whatnot. So I'd like to know what really happened. But someone died and justice needs to be served. So I don't know whether ni wasewa Joe, I don't know kama ni yao makarao, but ukiniambia saizi eti wote wanatan witness, so wote wanakuwa state witness against Balo sasa.
Because ilikuwa NTV Kenya sema DPP orders that Alan Ochieng aka Hype Balo be charged with the murder of DCI officer Felix Kitosi. Alafu DJ Mfalme turns state witness. So the DPP has ordered that alafu nani anastand witness after the DPP closed this file. So tulikuwa na lawyer fulani hapa naitwa Levi Minyeri. So one of the things that Levi said, alikuwa anasema the worst that can happen is it's a manslaughter case because nani hakutoka, his intent was not to kill him. You see, so alikuwa anasema even if it's Joe, the worst angechajiwa nayo ni manslaughter.
Unavonega
accidental.
Like you didn't plan to
but you still
end like
unzafungwa even 1 year, unzafungwa 12 years. It's not as long as a murder charge.
Premeditated one.
But now comes the story of friends. In this scenario, unafilaje like ukisikia mtu best yako ameturn state witness, what comes to mind first? If it's you, would you be surprised? Because freedom is
priceless.
I think also it depends on a few things. For instance, Balo. So the interesting thing about social media is that the way that algorithm works based on the people we follow and the things we search is that me and you tukinget Twitter homepage zetu saizi we'll see very different things. Hata tu story nini story ya Joe Mfalme. Mimi vitu nitaona maybe ni vitu wao hujaona. So for instance mimi what I've seen within on my Twitter regarding Joe Mfalme is that right from the first day when it happened, I saw a lot of guys, akina Slam ni best ya Balo sana. They play in the same team actually. Niliona kama akina Slam wakiwa like, mbona Balo anaitwa bouncer? This is when the story broke. So ile wakisemeti the bouncer, mbona Balo anaitwa bouncer? Because Balo is not a bouncer. Balo actually works with Joe, he's ni hype man, ni MC and host. So how come Balo anaitwa bouncer? And then I think when they were held in that station, and this is again from what was on my Twitter,
Your feed,
guys were complaining that why has he been held in a different police station, Bado, from where Kina Joe and the other guys have been held.
Oh, wengine walikuwa same place.
I think so. That's what I saw online.
New information.
Then the other thing I saw online is that close friends of Balo formed a group. Wakasema they'll start contributing to raise bail in case ifike point yenye ananitu kulipa cash bail atoke.
Yeah.
That's the last thing I know. Those are the three things that mimi nimepick regarding Balos specifically. But from his close friends, it feels like soon as the incident happened, ni kama Balo alikuwa distanced. Na yet he was part of the crew, he was part of whatever happened. But it feels like he was secluded kidogo. So now when you say this now, it's sort of, if you add 1 + 1, it sort of starts to make sense. Mbona naito bouncer, you know. Nika sasa something happen hapa then iya naito bouncer. Kwa like yan si bouncer, yan ni coast kwa show bro. Unaona?
Yani mswa kubounce tu.
So wacha tuangalie statement. So kwa statement Joe Mfalme alisema, dear friends, supporters and well wishers, we want to sincerely thank you for having stood firmly with DJ Joe and his team during this challenging time. We are relieved and do welcome the outcome of the investigations carried out as they've exonerated DJ Joe Mfalme and his team, Eric Kariuki and Samuel Wanjiru. As a result of the outcome of the investigations, DJ Joe Mfalme, Eric Kariuki, Simon Wanjiru have been unconditionally released today by the court sitting at Kibera. We have advised our legal representatives to follow up with Alan Ochieng's case and provide legal assistance. Our thoughts and prayers continue to be with Inspector Felix Kellyan's family, and we extend our most heartfelt sympathies. Thank you for your prayers, continued support, God bless. So kuna hiyo part ya our legal representatives to follow up with Alan Ochieng's case. Alafu unajua kale kamjaka ndani yangu,
Alan Ochieng ndio Balo sasa, ndio wanaita Balo.
Kale kamjaka ndani yangu kalikuwa, kwani alikufa na mawe? Kwa nini mjalua? Kwa nini mjalua na baki na hii noma? So
if that's the case, I'll just reach out, but of course outside the pod. I'll reach out to Slam and see what the situation is, but that is sad to hear.
Yeah, it's sad to hear. Because on one side wanasema history ya state witness, alafu on the other side amerelease his statement. Because another thing, ulifuatilia story ukachiki like the family, because now the family, I know this is a very painful time for them, but I have to say something. They have to ask themselves, do they want justice or do they want anyone to go down? Because if they were saying that their person was being beaten at the police station, Balo hakuwa kwa police station. Hii time akipigwa mpaka anze kukojoa damu, Balo was not there. So do you just want someone to go down, or do you want the right person to go down? Because Makarao, they'll always protect their own. That's why the cops have come out clean.
Nakumbuka ni rapture tulikuwa nabonga naye, nakasema in this scenario the fact that ni Makarao and then it's a DCI officer mwenye amepass, there's no way ati wanaweza convict Karao, because sasa now itaanza like it's like they're prosecuting their own.
They'll have to.
So wakasema someone, nakumbuka rapture akiniambia lazima mtu mmoja ata go down.
Yeah.
I think I know for sure Balo's like close friends, I don't know how far how much info they know about this case, but I think soon as all the information is laid out clean, Balo needs just good representation. Good representation could help.
Tuanze at least,
because whether Nicaragua ilikuwa involved ama nini, soon as it goes down to the lawyers, the lawyers don't care kama Nicaragua ama nani. Nicaragua wataleta lawyer wao, Balo atakuwa na lawyer wao, kama ni Joe atakuwa na lawyer wao, then they'll argue out in you know, openly in court, and we will know the truth. Uzuri tu ni penye imefika sasa, the next step ni tutajua actually watu wanachajiwa na nini na what are the facts that the police have. And I think now that's why he needs good representation.
Because at least the first thing Levy alisema, it's a manslaughter charge, because your murder charge is different, man. A murder charge is you're looking at life, you're looking at 40 years, you're looking at being hanged. But a manslaughter charge is whatever.
People don't hang people nowadays.
They don't hang, but unajua unapata life in prison, which is messed up. But now another thing ilinilisikia like from another person who had this story is like that they knew yesterday, like by like on Sunday, they knew that Mfalme was being released.
Who knew?
Like mabeste wa wa Joe. Atolikuwa naenda kumcheki msee iko like buda Joe me Tuesday niko na gig. Wanashinda msee hajapelekwa kotini. Anabonga juu ya gig. Unajua so so was talking about anaenda gig on Tuesday and nimesikia something close to the fact that he was actually bragging that Wasome get events because he was not around. Now he's back, he's going to do his shit.
Bragging where?
Hivyo like unajua unabonga wasona shinda like buda
anabonga wapi sia
sikosel sumeenda kumcheki alafu unexpect so me of course hapa kwa pod nimekuwa hapa niki like when I had the case I just felt like he was innocent. Yes.
That's based off your previous interactions,
yes, interactions with him. Yeah. So the only thing that I feel sad would be like if you throw best yako under the bus and you know he's innocent also, because when I look at that case I feel like the cops did this. I don't feel like civilians would do this. But it's just one of those like msana kojoa damu kwa police station. How does a civilian? But it also teaches you one thing. If your friend is in trouble, don't be quick to help, like especially with violence. Shikilia mse nini, because ama toa hata simu. Unajua ula so ulizaka buda kwa nini ulitoa simu? This is the shit reason why so toaga simu, because unaenda kuhelp msana nini alafu uende unaenda nayo noma. Because now having powerful friends, I feel any your powerful friends, because there's also that
like your powerful friends.
Like if you have powerful friends na noma it okay. Unajua normally the less powerful guy is the one who takes the fall.
Mostly mostly if you
sana hizi makesi za nini za accidents you happen hata hizi drink driving unaambiwa wewe ndio ukae hapo useme you are the one who was driving.
It happens because you're the sober one and cops are kwangi wewe saizi ungekuwa wewe ndio ulishoot mse uko big club on camera hivyo kama DJ Evolve ndio ungejua for sure power and money makes a big difference in this country. Ingekuwa ni mimi nilishoot mse hivyo na iko on camera ningekuwa mnani visit uko committee saizi kuniuliza mambo ya Just Kidding podcast ama pali ningepelekwa so money and power bro, and it's not even just Kenya only, globally. Hata Epstein uoni alipotea tu. When there's money and power involved then even some of the most powerful judicial systems as ingine zo bend. Ina depend tu ni nani on the other side.
Afu since when msewa kwenda kuparty, does this make you scared like because you're a party guy man, when you msewa if it happens like me, because these stories are drama at night. It's rare sana drama ya inje inipate. Inaweza nipata on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday night because I go to base radio. So otherwise I'm a domestic animal. I'm like one of those people who is comfortable in the house. Wacha noma inipate kwa hao. Mi noma itanipata kwa hao because noma ukuja. Unajua noma you never know. It's going to find you anywhere you are. But me most probably itanipata kwa hao. Where?
Na me I'm not too worried bro. So the thing is you know sometimes I look back at when I was 22 and go like damn I really survived. 22 me I was wild as hell. Wild like my friends. So your time noma mingi nini sawa but I'm not too worried. Saizi where I'm at I'm very calm. I go out but I don't go out that much. And also I'm not that person you'll see in the industry cliques ama nini, never ever 70% of the time I'm hosting my friends. 70% of the time. The 30% is selective spaces. Like you'll see me at Blankets because I love Kenyan music, so you'll see me where there's good Kenyan music. Then maybe you'll find me at Gondwana. Me I'm more of a house guy. So hizo space the house as nanga hizi mangori mingi. So you find me at Gondwana, at Complex, Kaleidoscope and the rest. So simisi mse Wednesday unanipata niko tu eti Milan. Sijui Friday. No, if you find me in the club most likely I'm working. Ama maybe it's a special day for someone amesema twende. If it's a birthday you know whatever you want I'll pull up. But utanipata tu randomly sijui niko wapi. No, so I'm not scared of it, but I just choose where I need to go, and luckily I don't have to be everywhere. So
now hosting like you live apartment block uko juu ama uko huku kuzio hiyo pia inakuwa risky like when you host people and people get drunk and it's uko 12th floor. Someone decides to go to the balcony and now you have a murder case.
No, so hosting for me is I host the same people. You know, it's I don't have like a big friends group. I know a lot of people, but those when we are intimate, like they can come to my space. It's normally just the same faces. But me, I've always just loved hosting. So I love hosting. I love throwing parties. I love doing barbecues. You're on my shit.
Okay.
But it's mostly just the same people. Every now and again, someone will say, "Oh, this is my close friend of mine. Can they come?" But inakwanga very controlled. Not many people. Mimi, that's the vibe I like. Yeah. Mimi napenda hivyo. Tukuje home, we get someone to make food, take a decks, we DJ, we play games, we watch TV, we do whatever. Mimi, I prefer that either spaces as opposed to getting me to go to the club.
Yeah.
Because I work in that space. So kuniambia tuende kwa club niko like so mimi nakuanga huko anyway for work, which is different. So it doesn't excite me as much as it used to. So mimi nilisurvive 22 your age ilikuwa noma kidogo. So can nilisurvive your age size niko sawa. Been there, done it, nothing new.
22 was your new terrible too.
Bro. I don't know what happened at 22, but I was wilding.
Alafu pia another story of course that has happened ni like all Kenya media stations before history ya Joe Mfalme ilikuwa ile story ya Betty Charlo's Flair by Betty Salon to be auctioned over rent arrears, and I felt like a lot of Kenyans were celebrating.
Why?
I don't know, that's why nikataka kuuliza, why do you think Betty Charlo is not likable? Because I've never understood, like 1 minute you're the media darling, the next minute is like everyone is there like hey.
I think Betty, they just love to hate. I don't think people really hate Betty like that. I think they love to hate, but also in the eyes of many people she's very successful. I don't think people like that. So I think when you're very successful you attract that kind of audience. I'm sure if I go to Betty's Instagram now, whatever she's posting, I'm sure there's a lot of love. It's just that sometimes people prefer a lie when it's more interesting, and anything that can make, and most headlines are not like positive things. So if Betty's salon is getting auctioned for whatever reason, because auctioning, it could be for whatever reason, unajua,
then ni rent arrears. Yes.
Why would I celebrate that? You know, me says celebrate hustle yako ikifungwa, regardless of what the situation is. But Betty is Betty, she'll bounce back. So me hata siko stressed. If it happened, that's life. Things happen. Sometimes you fall, you just pick yourself up. But Betty ni hustler, bro. Betty atakuwa sawa. Betty will be fine. And also kumbuka, sometimes when you do business, because people also forget this, sometimes when you're doing business, you could get to the point where you'd rather let it get auctioned than keep doing it. Especially guys who are in the nightlife industry. You invest a lot of money to build this nice bar next doors, nini. When that business begins to fail, sometimes your operating costs are very high. So you'd rather close, kula your losses, maybe you'll break even, maybe you didn't break even, but it's normal with business. Not all businesses succeed. I think Betty tried, she had a business, she ran it for some time. Kama imekuwa ngumu ni sawa, that's part of life. Regroup to aendelee, but life happens, man.
I think hata hiyo kitu ndio umesema, because like she also released a statement akamsema, I'm happier, I sleep better, my peace of mind is more important than a name, I'm good. Alafu she'd blamed this on like the way business has become difficult in Kenya, and this reminded something.
That she owned it. It's on your shit.
Nikumbusha kitu kwa tunabonga on Friday na Ian, and I was telling him like, have you ever noticed a funny thing hapa Kenya? No politician's business ever fails. They're all successful. They all have these billions that they make, and these are part-time businesses. Sisahau sisi tukifanya biashara, we are full-time there, and we still fail. I say
they know where the money is coming from.
The former deputy governor wa Kisii, he made
the billionaire guy.
He made 2 billion last year. And it's part-time. Only part-time. 2 billion. So, filaje ukiona business is going down and politicians never go down.
No, of course it normally, okay, for me, of course, I don't like seeing that. I think even that's why when you watch this Fune episode, there's a part where we're discussing money and how ideally we should fundraise to get someone in office, but it happens that way around. Like huku lakini amwezi fundraise, and I was very upfront like, of course we can't fundraise for you, because as you get in office unaiba sana, like all these things we see. And then sasa ikifika campaign you want me to nikupatie do for what, you know what I mean? Then uko ndani umenifinya, like doing business in Kenya is hard. Anyone who runs a business in Kenya and you're not doing wash, you don't have connects that can, you know, salvage your biashara. But doing business in Kenya is hard, bro. It keeps getting harder. Taxes every day, cost of everything's gone up. Cost of production, steamer, salaries, nini. Because remember, if you're running a business that hires people, you're running a business, but also you're managing people and their own personal needs and whatever. Because you need these people. Any business needs people to run. So part of this is you start to manage people, and managing people is everything else that comes with this person. So generally, running business is not hard. It's not easy. So when you see anyone who's successful at doing business and they're doing it legit, hands down to those people. Because you know, business is glorified. Everyone wants, everyone wants to get into entrepreneurship, unajua. But kuna wase wengine unaambianga way back to employment, wachana na hii mambo, you know. So if weka ni mse mwenye you can't take those crazy hits, you know, then you can't do it. It's like you can't be a heavyweight champion of the world in boxing if you can't take heavy hits, you know, a very good knock. So of course it's bad, you know, because I know it's not a level playground between politicians and Kama Sisi. And but that's the society we have raised. That's the society we've encouraged. That's the society we refuse to hold accountable. That's the society we glorify. We're still going to vote the same leaders back in the next election. We'll complain. We'll be quick to hold a Betty accountable. You've never held MC accountable. Unasumbuana na Betty to online about things when she's, you know, also trying to figure things out. But the actual people who could make sure that Betty's nini biashara doesn't get there, you've never held them accountable. So it begins there, man. Like me will give up na politics ya hii Kenya yetu.
We also talking about that on Friday, and I was telling people that's also a very dangerous way to think. I don't know. So 2027, are you voting?
I think I'll have to see who's vying, but I think I'll vote.
Because nilisikia ile conversation kwa mna have na Sifuna, and Sifuna said something really interesting when he was telling you about TikTok. Like, look at TikTok. Right now we have a government in power that wants to ban TikTok. So it means that the time of saying all politicians are the same has passed, because they are not the same. Kenyatta never tried to ban TikTok. When things got
TikTok
ugly,
was not available when Kenyatta was
but when things got ugly for him on Twitter, he logged off.
Oh, you mean Kenyatta? Mimi nafikiri unasema Jomo Kenyatta.
No. Niko namaanisha Uhuru. When things got ugly for him, he logged off. Hii regime, things get ugly, they think of, what if you were to switch it off? You see, so it shows you all politicians are not the same. Because yo kitu, sometimes I hear it and it annoys me. I'm like, no, these people are not the same. Yes, they might still, but yes, like okay, they still sawa, but unajua afadhali mwizi ameniachia freedom of speech, because people stole a lot during the Kibaki regime. Unajua sasa uoshaga Kibaki na yeye anakuwa mweupe kapamba. No, people stole. That's why like people like akina Nani had to run away,
and people are murdered in 27 as well. That's Kibaki as well.
Yes, that's Kibaki as well. So Githongo had to run away. So Kibaki was not nini, but one thing we were sure of is freedom of speech. Igava ilingia na freedom of speech, but are we assured of this shit? Because TikTok has become this monster that it is. So mina encourage you say, yes, 2027 itafika, but there's going to be a difference between the two. The people who tell you there's no difference are the people who want to maintain the status quo.
True.
The people who are happy.
I think my main issue is not... So when I look at the people involved, a lot of them to me is just the same people, different parties. I think even part of the discussion we had with Sifuna I was like, okay, so what's the difference between UDA and ODM? Because I don't see any difference. If you go down into development, into whatnot, I can pick how many ODM MPs who akina, you know, you go back to akina Migori, the governor, there's so many ODM politicians. Nikieka wa politician ODM na UDA in terms of development, see any difference, you know. But
freedom of speech.
Yeah, for sure. So the main issue for me is not the people. I think if we are still stuck on the people, we won't make a difference. My biggest problem, and why Nasammin may give up for now, is that's the institutions. Because until you get to the point where the institution works regardless of who is in the office, we still be caught in this same cycle. So Mimi, I want the member of parliament as an institution to work regardless of who's there. So we need structures in place proper enough that will make sure that we get someone who's qualified to get in. But even regardless of who you put there, there's structures that will make sure that it thrives. So when you look at the presidency, I don't want to look at it from to be stuck on one person. I want the presidency to work. If anything was to happen tomorrow, mwafu na tukweke hapo, the structures there will make sure that you thrive, and also there will be proper checks and balances. What we don't have now is institutions don't work. So when the institution doesn't work, regardless of who you put in office, that's why who complain it, mse tulikuwa na hope akaingia, what happened? The institution does not work. Sifuna, to me, and we spoke with for a while. What's on the pod, what's outside the pod. He is probably one of the politicians mwenye at the end of the day I was like, and I even told him, I think you sound very genuine. You sound very genuine, you're very candid, but something happens. Sakaja sounded exactly the same before office.
Nah, Sakaja was a Teams University person. Like the minute true nilijua he has fake papers and he'd come up with these sob stories. Sana juaga, like on this podcast I say, never give me a fucking sob story. I hate them. When he said he used to wash clothes and drove a Mercedes Benz from washing clothes. Do you know how many fucking women I've seen out here washing clothes and they can barely survive? Wanatuambia ulikuwa kampo ukiosha nguo ukanunua Benz. I'm like, go fuck yourself. Like only mse moja
he's been in politics for a while. Student politics.
See, alisema alianza kudrive ndae akiosha nguo kampo, and that's how good he is at saving. Only mse moja nilikam kudiscover ku accept
nguo gani hizo.
Nilikam ku accept.
Sio nashindwa. Kwani mashine yake ni kubwa aje?
Si but nilikam ku accept yeye hata itokea iko nini. Because he's one of the people who I've really wanted to, like, you know, be neutral with him, but I found out he's just not the person. Like, you, first of all, you're young, and number two, you're coming up with these bullshit things. Like Historia Mobile Studios, I've ranted about it enough. Like, we unapenda Kenyan music. Do you think we have we don't have enough studios?